form from immigration informing us that um, the new form for the parole in place for people who have been married to a United States citizen has actually been released, and you can start filling it out and submitting it on the 19th, which is on Monday. So if you or a loved one um, have been here in the United States on without inspection, entered the country without inspection, and you want to apply for permanent residence, the President Biden just signed that um, the executive order in June, and now we're able to actually submit the application. So if you came to the United States without inspection and you've been married to a United States citizen and you've been here in the country for more than 10 years, now you're able to apply for that parole in place. And applying for that parole in place will do a couple of things. One of them will actually you'll be able to apply for a work permit if you've been not working in the United States, or you've been working without a work permit. You'll be able to get a work permit, and also that will cure any undocumented entry that you had before, and it will allow you to come into you to go and apply for your permanent residence here in the United States without having to leave the country and come back. So if you're able to call us again, we're open 24/7. We have people, English and Spanish speakers, on the phone 24/7. You can call us and we'll be more than happy to help you apply for your permanent residence if you're here in the United States. Again, if you're here in the United States and you've been here for more than 10 years and you came into the United States without inspection, you actually can apply for permanent residence in the United States now by applying for parole in place first, and then after you apply for parole in place, that will cure the undocumented entry that you had before, and that will allow you to apply for permanent residence in the United States. You can also apply for a work permit. For a work authorization when you apply for that parole in place and it gets granted. Please, 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 please don't hire a notario. Don't hire someone that will take money from you and not know what to do. There are a lot of things that you have to worry about, uh, especially if you um, have been in the United States and you have a criminal record. This is absolutely important. If you have a criminal record, please don't apply for parole in place, because if you apply for parole in place, that might actually uh, land you in removal proceedings, and you don't want to do that. So please, 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 please don't go to anyone who's not an attorney. I beg you, do not go to anyone who's not an attorney to do this. If you are here in the United States and you're trying to get parole in place, speak to an attorney. I'll be more than happy to speak to you. Give us a call. The phone number is 888-963-7326. And as I said, we are open 24/7. You can call us and schedule an appointment to speak to me. We're able to submit this online for you. My office is paperless. We don't worry about paper in my office. So if you wanna do this from all over the United States, we'll be more than happy to help you from all over the United States. Call us, schedule an appointment, and I'll be more than happy to help. Now, we usually have these live sessions on Wednesday, and I don't do one on a Friday. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the form in a second, but I also have some um, questions left over from Wednesday that I actually didn't answer. So we'll answer that in a second. But I am actually going to look at the form. Um, Actually, it hasn't been released on the website yet. So um, just give me 1 second. Oh yeah, yeah. They haven't released it on the website yet. I think you can only do it online if you have an online account with USCIS. Um, I got a question earlier on TikTok. Uh, just give me 1 second. I'm just scrolling back to my TikTok to see the question that we had. Someone said that Um, my staff, I don't speak Spanish, but my staff does. We have almost all of my staff here in the United States actually speak Spanish, and I also have staff that speak Arabic. So if you're an Arabic speaker or a Spanish speaker, you're more than welcome to call my office and schedule appointments to talk to me. Um, this is actually something that I wanted to talk about, and I'll probably release another video about it on my social media platform soon. You asked me if I speak Spanish. I speak a little bit, not that much. I speak enough to actually order on from the menu on and in a restaurant, but not that much. And I will struggle even to do that. But something that I hear a lot, oh, well, I need to go hire an attorney who speaks my language. Absolutely, positively do it. Do it. The problem is if the attorney who speaks your language is not a good attorney, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage if you hire someone just because they speak your language. I am a very good attorney. I have a lot of experience. I have 15 years of experience. So if you hire me, we're going to go fight for you. Um, but don't hire someone just because they speak your language. Yes, my staff speaks Spanish. uh, if you're Venezuelan, I have both of my office manager and my legal assistants are both from Venezuela. So if you're Venezuelan, you're in luck. Call us. We have Spanish speakers. We if you speak something other than Spanish and Arabic, we also have translators. If you want to bring your own translator, we'll also be able to speak through your own translator. That is not a problem. If you're on in TikTok, we're almost at 10,000 likes. If you want to put some hearts and like us and follow us, I would really appreciate it. I only need like 1,500 likes to get to 10,000. So if you guys can do that for me, I would really appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, so as I said in a couple of earlier videos that I had, we have been using the Parole in Place program for a long time now, for about 10 years or so. And it's been just for people who are related to a member of the armed forces of the United States, which means that if you're the parent, child, or the spouse of a United States citizen or a permanent resident who is actually a member of the armed forces of the United States, you're able to apply for parole in place, and that would have fixed any issues that you had with your entry to the United States. Now, what the program is doing is actually the president is allowing people who are related to you as citizens generally to cure their entry into the United States by using this parole in place program. So it's not a new program. It's just an expansion of an existing program, and that's going to help like an estimated 5 million people in the United States. So if you've been holding off on applying for your permanent residence because you didn't come into the United States legally, then you will be able to use this parole in place program. Um, this will also, as I said, right now, if you don't apply through the program, you'll have to leave the country and come back. And that program, President Obama put that program in place. Uh, but you have to apply for a waiver, for a provisional waiver in the United States before you're able to do that. And what President Biden is doing is taking away the risk of having to leave the country and come back. So that's what President Biden is doing. So if you absolutely want to apply for your permanent residence, now is the time to do it. Do not wait to do it until after the elections, guys. This is big deal. This is a really big deal. Call us and schedule something with me to speak to me, and I'll be more than happy to help you. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go to some of the questions that we had uh, over on from this week. I know one of them was regarding applying for a fiance visa if you are on a green card, and if you are on a green card, unfortunately, you will not be able to um, apply for a fiance visa. And for those of you that don't know what a fiance visa is, it's a visa that if you're engaged, um, if you're engaged to someone outside the United States, and you want to bring him here, the fiance visa. I don't know if you're in the United States, you probably seen a 90-day fiance. A 90-day fiance has a premise to where people meet people overseas and they want to bring them here to the US. What they do is apply for a K1 visa for them, which is a fiance visa, for them to be able to come here to the United States and apply for the green card. They don't want to wait 2.5 years for them to do it. So what happens is you apply for the fiance visa, and after you apply for the fiance visa and your fiance comes here, you get married within 90 days, and after you get married within 90 days, you can apply for their permanent residence. That, however, is only limited to U.S. citizens. If you are a green card holder, you cannot actually apply for the K1 visa or the K3 visa. You have to apply you have to apply for the green card. So what I would recommend, if you are engaged to someone and you're a permanent resident, as a permanent resident, you can actually apply for someone's green card, not a fiance visa. Usually, there is a wait time for the visa number to become available. But after the visa number becomes available, you're actually able to get yeah, to get the green card. So after you apply for the fiance visa, but if you get married to a green card holder, you have to wait for a visa number to become available. And I spoke about that before, about the preferences and all of that stuff when it comes to family preferences. So um, if you have a fiance and you're a green card holder, get married, and let's do it that way. We got a question on TikTok. Is my fiance got a blue letter in the interview to submit documents, relationship proof? Is that bad sign? Um, I wouldn't think that it's a bad sign. I just think that the officer might have wanted more evidence to uh, beef up your relationship. And honestly, if you were my client, I wouldn't have let you go to the interview without those documents, because I know what the officer or the counselor officer was going to ask you. So I wouldn't have sent you to your interview without asking for that. It's not a bad sign. Sometimes they ask for them. They When I was doing my own mom's green card, they asked for additional documents. That's not a big deal. I just wouldn't let it go, and I wouldn't I would submit the documents that they need. I wouldn't let it go. So do that. Don't ignore that. um the other question that I got, guys, is um okay. This is one of my favorite questions that we got from social media. I would like an aggressive attorney to represent me in removal proceedings. What is your success rate? Listen, I can't. I'm a member of the Florida bar. I can't tell you that it's 100%. I can't tell you that it's a 50%. I can't tell you that it's 30%. But it's pretty good. I have lost way many cases than the ones I mean, I've won way more cases than I lost, and the lost cases that I have can probably count them on one hand. Um, and I promise you, I lost the cases because people didn't follow my advice. Here's what I'm going to say: if you're hiring a removal attorney who's not going to go fight for you, you're you're wasting your money. Um, One time, I had a client who left the country for more than 13 years, came back as a green card holder, left the country, came back for 13 years. Case dragged on in removal proceedings for about 5 years. Everybody was telling me to forget it and not fight it. But guess what? I actually fought it. And the reason why I fought it is because I didn't think my client did anything wrong, and I didn't think he had the intent of actually leaving the country for good. So what we did is we went and fought it for 5 years, and at the end of it, the government lost because we actually fought fought it and proved that he didn't have the intent to leave the country. Um, I see a lot of my colleagues go to immigration court, concede everything under the sun, and then say, okay, now I'm going to apply for relief. The problem is sometimes there is no relief. And if you get an attorney that's going to admit to it and have you deported, you just lost your whole future and your whole life in the United States. You need someone who's going to go fight for you. And that's what you will get with me. Uh, it doesn't matter if the success rate is 2%, which I'm not saying it is, but if I go and actually win your case, it's not going to matter what my success rate is. But my success rate is very high. I'm going to say that. So if you're looking for an attorney who's going to fight for you, I would be honored to help you. Um, but again, you in this business, you get what you pay for, and I do have a minimum retainer on removal cases, and but if you want someone who's going to go by your side and fight every single second of those removal proceedings, I'm your guy. Call me. The number is 888-963-7326. Guys, I know we can reach 500 hearts on TikTok. I think you guys are holding back on me a little bit. Thank you. Um, all right, so that's next question that I have is, all right. I don't know if you guys saw me on Friday on Wednesday, but I don't like answering specific questions about cases on TikTok or social media, because I don't want you to talk too much about your case because you're waiving attorney-client privilege if you have an attorney. So I really don't want to do that. So if you have specific questions about your case, please don't put them on online. Call me. The number again is 888-963-7326. Um, and call me and schedule an appointment to speak to me, and I'll be more than happy to speak to you about your individual case. Please, please please don't actually put your details on a public forum like this. I would really appreciate it. Thank you. um how many years petition unmarried? 21 years as a green card holder. Um, so I guess the question is, how many years does it take for someone to petition? If it depends on your country. Again, in the United States, we have something called per country cap. So the United States doesn't want. In the old days, it used to allow people from, you come here and you get your visa when you get your visa. But we were having a lot of people, for example, coming here from Europe, and the United States wanted to diversify the immigrant pool in the United States. So we did what's called the per country cap. So we put certain amount of visas cannot go, or a country cannot exceed a number amount of a number of the number of visas in every given year. So you have a per country cap. So for example, Mexico, Philippines, India, and China, they are very backlogged. And if you're from those countries, you're going to wait for an immigrant visa for a very long time. So the answer to your question is going to depend on where you're from. Now, I'm going to take this as someone who is from any country. Just give me 1 second, and I'm going to look at the visa bulletin, and I'm going to tell you how long it's taken right now from someone who's not from one of these 4 countries. Just give me 1 second. So if you are not from the 4 countries that I already spoke about, and you are applying for someone, the wait time is about 3 years right now for someone who's under 21. So, however, However, the NVC might actually be moving a little quicker on them because there was a change on the law, and they might actually send you all of the they might send you the interview and all of that stuff, and the case number and the invoice number from the MVC for you to actually upload all the documents that they need uh, before uh, before the visa number becomes available. And then when it comes available, um, you can actually apply for the green card. Guys, please do not send me requests to actually join me in the live. I don't do that. So if you have any questions or comments, please just put them in the comments, and I will see if I can get to them. All right. So what's the next question that we have? If I have a criminal record and I asylum and got married to American citizen, good. Again, guys, I mean, thank you so much for the questions, but again, one of the reasons why I don't want you to put sensitive details about your cases is the government might actually look at your social media feeds sometimes, and if you have something like an admission or something like that, you ask someone else about your case, they might use it against you. So please do not do that. If you have something sensitive on your background, send me a DM. Do not put it in the chat. Send me a DM, and we'll be able to reach out to you to schedule you to speak to me. If you have a criminal record, that triggers something called inadmissibility. Even if you're here in the United States already and you came in on a visa, you still have to prove that you're admissible to the United States for you to be able to get your permanent residence in the United States. So if you have a criminal record, um, it depends on what the criminal record is. That might actually still allow you to, depending on the law that you were convicted under, you might still be able to become a permanent resident if you're married to a U.S. citizen. Again, it's very specific and it's very fact specific, and I have to know every single fact in your case before I can actually tell you if you're going to be able to get your permanent residence or not. So again, call me 888-963-7326, or if you're from outside the United States, you can call us on WhatsApp +1-727-301-9328, and I'll be able to help you. Call us, guys. I think it'll be the best way to get in touch with us and help you with your individual case. Thank you. Again, someone just asked, their wife is overseas, and is there anything to speed up the case? Again, that's very, very case specific and very fact specific. The Philippines is one of those 4 countries that I spoke about of being backlogged. So if you're if you're a green card holder, for example, you're going to be waiting for a very, very long time for a green card. If you're a green card holder, you're going to be waiting for a little bit of time to get your wife from the Philippines here. But again, give me a call, guys. 888-963-7326, and I'll be able to actually help you. All right. Next question is, all right, if you're the one who commented about having a Vawa case, please get in touch with my office and let's talk about that. I really don't want to discuss that on here. Someone asked, what's the wait time for someone who's married to a green card holder here in the United States? Again, I answered that question a little bit ago. If you're here in the United States and you applied for a spouse to become a permanent resident, you have to wait for the visa number to become available. So that's going to depend on which country you're from. And number 2, you have to make sure that your spouse is still in status in the United States, meaning that they have to actually be in current status. So if they're not in status right now, they won't be able to get a green card. The beneficiary will not be able to get the green card. So that's again, that would be the kind of question to call me, please, and ask me on the phone individually. All right. Next question that I have is, can I apply for my green card even though I am actually going through a divorce? Um, so if you're applying for a green card based on marriage to a U.S. citizen, you can apply for a green card if you're going through a divorce. There are a couple of problems, however. Um, One of the problems is, if you get divorced before the I-130 is approved, then you're going to have the issue of the I-130 would not be approvable anymore because the underlying relationship is non-existent. So if you get divorced from the United States citizen, you're not going to be able to actually get the green card. That's number one. Number two, um, if there is any abuse in the background, in your background, especially if the United States citizen is telling you, I'm not going to apply for your green card, or I'm not doing this and I'm not doing that, I'm not going to the interview, then there might be another petition that you want to apply for, and that's called a Vawa petition. That's a Violence Against Women Act. It applies to both men and women. It's not only for women. That's just the name of the law that it was enacted under. So if you are going through a divorce and you're married to a U.S. citizen or a green card holder, doesn't have to be a U.S. citizen necessarily. Call me and let me look on and let me look at your case and see if I can actually apply for VAWA for you. By the way, if you apply for VAWA, your spouse doesn't even know that you applied for it. So that's actually one of the best things about VAWA is the secrecy. So if you do want to apply for a green card and you're going through a divorce, you might be eligible for a VAWA petition. Call me. Again, the number is 888-963-7326. And if you are watching us, guys, I would really appreciate it if you follow us and give us some hearts on TikTok or any other. I do have some followers looking at me from YouTube and Facebook. I would really appreciate a follow and a like on there too. We're coming up. We have a couple more minutes left. Um, Let me look at the questions really quick that we have. This okay. So we get a lot of questions from people who either calls from people every week about people um, who want to report their spouse, or their spouse is applying. They think that their spouse just married them to get a green card or something like that. Guys, please do not do that. Don't if you're applying for a green card for someone and you yank the petition, you might be actually helping that person get a VAWA petition filed. So if you're not happy with your spouse, the worst thing that you can do is actually withdraw the petition on their behalf. The other thing that I see people actually withdraw the petitions at the interview. That's fine. If you don't want to do it anymore, that's fine, but don't do it that way. And if you do have a spouse who actually withdrew a petition on your behalf, and they're a U.S. citizen or a lawful permanent resident, 9 times out of 10, that's not the only abuse that you suffered. So 9 times out of 10, I find that the person has been verbally abused or mentally abused or financially abused. And that would not be the first person that they were the first time that they were told that their spouse is going to withdraw the petition. Usually the spouse is actually threatened, the spouse of yanking the petition or withdrawing the petition. So if you've been subject to any of that, give us a call and I'll be more than happy to help you. I do a lot of VAWA cases. If you have If you're married to someone and they're not too nice to you, call me and I'll be more than happy to help. Um, we're coming up on 30 minutes here. I have some stuff to get to, guys. Phone number is 727 317 9757. You can call us on that number, 813-335-4938 if you're in Tampa. If you're in the United States, 888-963-7326. Or if you're from overseas, it's uh, +1 727 301 9328. That's our WhatsApp number. That's open 24/7. You're more than welcome to text us on it, and we'll be more than happy to schedule you for a consultation with me. Easiest thing to do, www.americandreamlawoffice.com. Click the schedule button on there, and you'll be able to schedule with me to speak to me. I really appreciate it, guys. 131F is out. If you're married to a US citizen and you've been here for 10 years and you don't have a green card and you didn't come into the United States legally, now is the chance to apply for your green card. Don't wait. Do not wait. Call us at all of these numbers that I just mentioned, and I'll be more than happy to help you. Take care, guys. Have a great weekend, and I look forward to speaking to you on Wednesday. And we'll see you on Wednesday. If you have any questions, call us. Thank you.